So this is yellow ochre and ultramarine violet. Yellow ochre here and ultramarine violet here. We're mixing them together. And we're adding a bit of white for the first layer. So the first layer should have a bit of a dark. And I've noticed in the picture that she's actually wearing you know what? If her finger is, because she's wearing this on her middle finger in the reference, but because the actual ring is closer up, and I put this one down, I'm gonna leave that middle finger. And so it depends on how yours is. If this ruby or this kind of red stone is closer to the, what's this called, this finger?
Ring finger.
Ring finger, then keep it there. If it's closer up to the middle finger, then put it on the middle finger. I'm gonna do try to do all of the outside of that ring. I don't think it matters where the actual ring is, on which finger. It doesn't matter. It's just what it matters is actually putting this here. So first layer, we have yellow ochre and ultramarine violet with a bit of white. And I'm just doing all of the outside. Now I'm going to add more white. Okay. A bit more white. Wipe my brush. There. I need to darken the ring finger a bit because it's blending with the arm. So I'm taking burnt sienna, putting a touch of yellow ochre in it, and white. Okay, I have to take some ultramarine violet in here too. Still not dark enough there. That's better. The hardest part working with acrylics is doing skin tone with acrylics because it dries darker. It always dries darker. So you can't really gauge what the value should be until it's dry. Okay, that's good. It's good enough. Put some sparkle in here. Okay. Okay, that's enough. So that's sap green and black, ivory black. I'm using ivory black. And I mean, sap green, of course, should be more than black. And I'm just gonna put a layer of dark green over the stems. I really don't have to worry about how the stems are looking. I don't have to, I can put green all over it. And then when I start highlighting, I can, figure out where I want the highlights to be, so I can get different, separate those stems, so I can see different ones. But I can do this with highlights. Right now, all I'm doing is I'm just getting some green. And you see when I'm doing the green, it's, you can see like it's not opaque. I think it's just because sap green is not that opaque anyway. So it's perfect. Okay, good. So I'm gonna come up here to where I'll zoom in a bit. Those ones here are kind of hidden, so they would be a bit darker. Those stems in here. And I'm doing the bottom of those. And you'll see in a minute what I'm going to do. I'm going to, just the bottom, I'm just pushing that green up a bit. Okay, I'm going to go a bit darker now here. in here. Wow, it makes a big difference. Having a color here. Okay. Now, since I'm using black, I'm just going to take some black, only black, and no sap green, just black, and try to find a bit of ultramarine violet, put it in my black. And I was just watching, trying to see here between the reference and this, it needs a bit of black in here, like dark. Get this out, and then, oh, and just darken a bit in this area here. And you can see here that this black in there, right here. So that's what I'm trying to do. Just kind of giving it a bit of depth. And here we go. That makes a big difference. It defines the shawl she has on. It defines it a bit. It won't. It doesn't blend in too much with the stems. Oh, nice. All right, the same thing here. Down here where her hand is, it's casting a shadow over the stems. So I'm just using black. Perfect. All right. Now, since I'm using black, I might as well come over here and darken this area a bit. And that will help with the depth, pushing this shawl in. You know, most artists don't like to use black. They avoid it, but if it's used the right way, it's really effective. It's necessary sometimes. I'm just adding a bit of red in here where the black is, just a bit, just to soften the transition between the black and the red. So I'm mixing cadmium red light and ivory black. And I'm gonna come here and then in between here, soften this a bit before we get to the strong black. So I don't want, you know, I really don't want to see a strong black over the red, like a edge. So I'm trying to soften the edge a bit.
So you're using cadmium red?
Cadmium red light and black, and I'm just
Okay.
kind of mixing them together. And I used first black to just get that dark, strong dark.
Mhm.
And then I'm softening this black. 'Cause once it's dry, what happens is once the black is dry, it hardens and it becomes too strong, like a hard edge. And you don't want it to be too hard, like the edge shouldn't be too hard. So I'm just softening this with using cadmium red light with some black over what I did. Just whatever I need to soften a bit. I'm going over that and just kind of there. It's like glazing over this there. So I have a deep dark color in here, but it's not just black. Now, let's go back to those lilies, and I'm going to switch to a bigger round brush. Take sap green, and I'm going to put white in my sap green. So I'm going to soften, make my sap green kind of minty. And more like a, here, I'll show you here. I'm going to move my camera to this side. And you can see it's kind of watery glaze, and it's a light, it's just sap green and white. And then I come here and I put this mint color. Actually, I need to go a bit lighter. So I'm adding more white. And I'm going to put this mint color over the lilies, and then I'll put white over that. And yellow.
This is mostly more white, a lot more white by the looks.
Yeah,
of it.
yeah.
Quite green, okay, I gotta,
Yeah, more white, and it's more like a glaze, so it's not too thick.
yeah.
I'm just trying to get rid of that brown color that I have at the bottom so I can start highlighting the tips and, you know, creating the shape of those lilies. Okay. I take my yellow ochre, mix it with sap green and yellow ochre. So sap green, yellow ochre, and I'm gonna see if I can. It'll be enough. I'm adding a bit of white as well. And I'm gonna see if it's enough highlight. Otherwise, I will have to use. If it's not enough, then I have to use cadmium yellow light.
Are you painting something because we can't see it?
You're right. I'm so sorry. There we go. How did this happen? All right, let's take some cadmium yellow light and put it with sap green, because this is not going to work. I mean, it's the first layer is perfect, absolutely fantastic. It's sap green and yellow ochre and some white, and it worked. It looks great. So now I'm just going to take some cadmium yellow light, mix it with my sap green.
So what, can you just, what did you put that previous block of colors with?
The green,
Yeah, this, you said you did the
sap.
the
Sap.
yellow ochre and sap and white. Where did you put that?
I put it over the darks that I had here, the dark green, and
Oh, okay.
made kind of a separation. Like I
Okay.
you know, separated those.
To show like a stem. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, the stems. Yes. So now I'm just kind of highlighting those stems a little bit more. I think I need to use. I'm going to use some yellow ochre in here. This is not. Cadmium yellow light and sap green together is they're a bit too strong, so I'm adding a bit of yellow ochre to this combination that makes it a bit more earthy. And it's okay, don't worry if you kind of go over some areas where you're, you know, on the stem, like right here, I can see my stem is too big. That's okay. I'm gonna go back and separate this and fix it up once it's dry. Okay, and now let's do this. So this one here, oh, actually this one here goes all the way up. The tricky ones are going to be the ones hiding those lilies that are, the white lilies that are in the shadow in here. They're going to be a bit tricky. Okay. I'm cleaning my brush and I'm picking up the same green, but I'm going to put a lot of, let's see. White. So it looks, like this, really light. Like a minty white color. And I'm just putting that white color in here. Now, if I need to go back and darken the bit, some of these, I will do it after. But for now, this is awesome because I can see. I'm really not going to do a lot of detail on these. As long as I can see a shape of a lily in there, like, you know, the white part, that's good enough. Too much detail in here, in the reference. I'm going to do a suggestion of a go back to some of the green I had before. And I'm going to just put it in here. Take white. There. This is a small brush. I'm just grabbing some white and putting it over in some areas to highlight some of the areas. I'll keep some of them dark. Okay. Now, let's go back. Wow, they're really not, they wrap around, you know, the actual petal. It's interesting. Hmm. Okay. This is a mixture of yellow ochre and sap green with white. You can see that the yellow ochre is a little bit more than the sap green. Okay. This is I'm adding a bit of black in here with the green, just at the inside, because there's a lot of details in here, and I'm just trying to simplify as much as I can. Shadows and details in here.
They're very complicated flowers.
It is very.
Yeah, we should just try to simplify. We can't really do exactly what we're seeing because there's a lot of work in there, and especially on this, small size canvas. Now, all I'm trying to do is, you see, I see from here to here, from here to here. It's a long kind of span. So what I'm going to do is try to give it some shape. And create some kind of a suggestion of flowers in here. But honestly, it has to be simplified. There's no way we can do all this. This is way too much. Okay, so this is good. I'm going to go back and use white now, mixed with a bit of green in it, like I was using before, white and green, sap green, and a bit of yellow ochre. Okay, now I think I need a bit of white. And especially with acrylics, it dries darker. So you put the color and you think it's the right color, and then when it's dry, it's way too dark. You have to go back and adjust. Okay. So this area here is dry, and I can see it's a bit too dark, the black. So I'm putting just sap green over the black there. Okay, so now The other challenge is when I darken this area, it's flat right now, this part. So I'm going to take yellow ochre and sap green, come over here. Oh, no. Let's put some cadmium yellow light in it. Ah, yes. All right, that's better. Okay. The stems in the reference are twisted, but I'm just going to keep them straight.